Alabama is preparing to use a new method of execution, nitrogen gas. The state is planning to use it on an inmate who survived his first death sentence.
Kenneth Eugene Smith is scheduled to be put to death Thursday by nitrogen hypoxia. This would be the first new method of execution since lethal injection was introduced in 1982.
Smith's attorneys say that he is at risk for seizures, strokes, potentially choking to death on his own vomit, and a prolonged execution that could leave him in a vegetative state instead of killing him.
By forcing the inmate to breathe pure nitrogen, he or she would be deprived of oxygen needed to maintain bodily functions.
The state intends to strap Smith to a gurney in the execution chamber at Holman Prison and place an industrial-grade respirator face mask over his face from approximately his forehead to chin. The warden will then activate what the state is calling a nitrogen hypoxia system that will replace breathing air supplied through the mask with pure nitrogen gas, causing Smith to die from lack of oxygen. The Alabama Attorney General's office told a panel of federal judges that this will be the most painless and humane execution method developed by man.
But critics say the never-used method of execution is like human experimentation. A Vatican-affiliated Catholic charity made an urgent appeal Tuesday to the state of Alabama to stop the execution, saying the method is barbarous and uncivilized and would bring indelible shame to the state.
The execution in Alabama, if it happens, will set a new standard of the lowering level of humanity for the whole world, not just for Alabama. It is killing frenzy, killing fury.
Smith was one of two men convicted who were paid to murder a preacher's wife in 1988. Prosecutors said the preacher paid $1,000 each to Smith and the other man to have her killed. The couple were deeply in debt and the husband wanted to collect insurance money. Alabama attempted to execute Smith in 2022 by lethal injection, but failed. The question of whether the execution can proceed will end up before the U.S. Supreme Court. There are several protests scheduled outside the Alabama Capitol, but the state intends to proceed on Thursday night.
I think it is the litmus test for the level of civilization in our world today. If prevails a culture of death or a culture of life. It is not just about the life or death of Kenneth Smith. It is about where the world stands now.
In 2018, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Mississippi authorized the use of nitrogen gas to execute prisoners, but no state has used it to carry out a death sentence yet. Some states are looking for new ways to execute inmates because the drugs used in lethal injections are increasingly difficult to find.